coming back to university after a long break from study, Endnote didn't really exist when I did that before. We did all our referencing by hand, you know, call cards and having our own little filing system. And now using a digital platform like Endnote, I've found actually really valuable. I love it. One of the first things I did when I enrolled in my PhD was come to all the things that the library held on Endnote training. And for me, coming in completely green with no prior knowledge and working through those workshops has set me up really well, because I've not encountered any of those problems that people have about corrupt files or misfiled things. So I think going to training, learning how to do it properly, setting up the Endnote, and then actually using all that functionality, actually knowing that those functions exist, but also how to use them, has been so invaluable. Like, I just use it all the time now, and I also tell everybody else to use Endnote properly. And it's been fantastic because in my research, I cover a lot of topics. So having one Endnote but being able to group them. So whenever I do a literature search, I might be looking for particular like keyword or key phrase, and when I'll select those journals and then I'll put them into Endnote and I'll group them and I'll categorise them at that point, and I'll also attach the PDF at that time, so that then I do any of my notes or highlighting on the PDF that's attached to the Endnote, which is attached to the reference, so I'm not having multiple files across my computer or devices. Everything's held in the one program, and then I can tag them if I'm writing on a particular thing, and I can regroup them. And so I found it really great for my organisation of themes and keywords and authors and topics.
I have, I keep my own Endnote file up to date for any article that I'm interested in, or I have used in a paper. I'll add it to my Endnote file, which has about 5,000 articles in it, and then I use my Endnote. I try to keep that up to date. So whenever I'm writing a paper, I have my Endnote file open, and if I search a new article, I'll straight away download the article, go into Google Scholar, import the reference into my Endnote, so it's all there and available if I want to use it down the track, which I tend to do.
My first advice to any PhD candidate is, have you created your Endnote? And have you gone for training with the library to run your Endnote? So I don't want anyone to start a research without creating an Endnote. You know, the first thing that you do in your research is to understand what is the field in terms of existing knowledge, and the only way you do that is reading. And once you start to read, you have to start to index it or to record it. And the best way to do that is start with Endnote. I've seen students, this is not with mostly PhD students, undergraduate students, they read a lot and then they have no idea where they read it, where was the article was saved and everything. So it's very important that Endnote probably becomes the system of organization for reading, and particularly to categorize things and put them.
Endnote is my number one. I did try to get into Mendeley. Everyone told me how great it was, and it just felt like Endnote but different. So I ended up back with Endnote where I started. I find Endnote's more people who I work with are using Endnote, so being able to just send your Word file draft to a colleague and they can just download the travelling library is a kind of seamless way to work across multiple authors in collaborations. And I find Endnote quite intuitive in terms of being able to append the PDF and have the abstract in there, and I'm quite comfortable now in terms of editing the styles and the outputs and those kinds of things, where I guess I'd have to learn another tool, if I went to something else. So if it's not broke, I'm not fixing it. And Endnote is provided through the university as well. So using what the university is using is an economical way of doing things, and it always also means there's always someone there who can support you with it. So if something goes wrong on my Endnote, I can log a job with IT, or if I don't know how to do something on Endnote, I can speak to someone in the library. So I think, having someone supporting you in what you're using is important, because those tools are always updating and there's always new things. And if I didn't have someone who I could go to with those questions, I'd probably be missing some tricks in what the power of a program like that can do.